Are you actually ready for digital marketing in 2026, or are you missing half of the actual essentials? Hi, I'm Liam. I've been a developer for about a decade now, raised $500,000 for my first startup. I've hired over 100 people, and I actually do some of the crazy stuff you see online. Like I wake up at 4:30 in the morning every day, and work every day. Crazy stuff like that. So in a past life, I was one of the best rowers in the world, and I like to use that sort of discipline to help other people make more money. Woohoo! Primarily with code. So I've worked with big names like Make-A-Wish, celebrities, this sort of stuff. But today I put together a fun digital marketing checklist for us, and we can go through that together. So this was inspired by someone I saw on Reddit. So let's check that out together. This is from Equal Direction and Numbers. Just a Reddit username that was pre-generated. Instead of going through all of his stuff, I just wanted to give him a shout out. Let's go through our checklist together. So you'll be able to look at this yourself. Digital marketing readiness checker on demo.nova.codes. And that is in the description, so you can literally use it for your own business right now. I'm going to create a caveat here. So you should be very mindful to not try to diversify all of your work, or like you don't need 20 different acquisition channels if you're just starting out. If you're under $1 million, I would really focus on one acquisition channel and really master that. So that can be either email marketing, it can be social media marketing or content marketing, right? It could be paid ads, but you don't need to do SEO. Like you don't need to put yourself in a position where you're making no money and then you feel like you need to put together SEO, social media, content marketing, paid ads, automation, like this type of stuff, right? You can be really selective and just get good at that one thing. So, but this checklist is awesome if you're doing $5 to $10 million, right? So that being said, I think it's still powerful. So you need to ask yourself, do you have a clear goal, a target audience, a unique offer? You've checked out your competitors, you have a plan for your funnel, and your KPIs are defined. KPI is like a fancy word for basically saying, like, what are we tracking and what are our goals? So let's say I do have a clear goal. So let's put ourselves in a position of someone. I'm going to actually do this for someone who is just starting out. So let's say I am a pet grooming company. Right now I have a basic website and I'm interested in getting in paid ads, let's say. So let's go through with that example, right? All right. So let's say I do have a clear goal. I want to target pet owners who do not get their dogs groomed currently, but do want to get their dogs groomed in the future. I do have a target audience. Let's say I'm doing this all local. So I'm a local groomer in Austin, Texas. I recently moved to Austin myself. So do I have a unique offer? Let's go through, for this case, let's say I don't have a unique offer. I'm just doing, it's a commoditized service. It is $125 for small dogs, $200 for big dogs. It's based on height and weight. I don't know. So I do not have a unique offer. What is my funnel plan? So let's say my funnel plan right now is I'm doing local PPC ads, or like pay-per-click ads, and I'm doing long tail keywords. Basically, without getting jargony, I'm looking if people in my area in Austin look up dog groomer in Austin, I'm gonna show up on Google. So let's say, and then from there, I have a simple website and a simple landing page to get people to get in contact with me, or they just call directly from Google. Simple as that. What is my KPIs here? My KPIs in this case is I want, right now I'm at 100, I make $120,000 a year, 40,000 in profit. I've got one person that helps me, and tools costs 20 grand a year. So, and rent and I have rent and all this other stuff. So I'm making about 40,000 a year. My KPIs, I want to double that with this new marketing. So I want to hit $250,000, which means I need to double the amount of customers I have. So, and let's say the number of customers I have is 50. So right now I don't have a unique offer. I'm not really looking at my competitors, but I do have some of these other pieces figured out. For your website, do you have mobile first design? Let's say I made this on Squarespace. It is okay, but it doesn't really have mobile first design. Fast load speeds, I did make this on Squarespace or whatever, Wix or something like this, right? So I do have fast load speeds, clear CTAs. I just talked about my funnel plan. So I do have a really clear CTA, or like call to action in there. I have a big button on the bottom. I did not make this website, but I have a big button on the bottom that says call today, right? For your first pet grooming is $30, let's say, instead of 120 or 150. Lead forms, I do something like Squarespace or something like this will make it's relatively easy to capture leads on there. They have like a simple CRM, so or way to manage customers. I don't have analytics tracking. Let's say I set up the Google Ads myself. I'm non-technical, so I am getting people to the website, but I have not set that up. And trust signals, I have no idea what that is. Let's say. So, SEO, I have no SEO. Or rather, uh, I have on-page SEO. Let's say I have the stuff that Squarespace gives me by default. So I have basically nothing. And as a caveat, that's okay because right now I'm not acquiring my customers through SEO. I'm doing it pay-per-click. Social media. Let's say I am on the right platforms. In this case, I'm on Instagram and that's it, and Facebook. Let's say I do not really post at all. I don't do any consistent posting. I don't do storytelling. I don't have optimized profiles, etc. And what I did is I basically put together this guy's list and put it here. So, but I do have some presence there. I do have a page at least. For content marketing, I do none of this right now. I do have a lead magnet. No, I mean, but it's on. I just have a Facebook page. That's it. Well, let's give me my dog grooming business some credit. Let's say I do have some reels and shorts. I don't have strong hooks. I don't have a background in content marketing or like social media marketing, content marketing, but I do have that. And I have posted some case studies. Like I take pictures of the dogs when they're done. So for paid ads, let's say I do have Google Ads set up. I do have landing pages set up. I'm not testing my creative right now, and then I'm not doing any retargeting, and let's say I am tracking ROAS. So right now I have, after someone signs up, um, I can see kind of cost per call. So I'm not doing like something more elegant, like looking at lifetime value of the customer, this sort of stuff, but I am looking at like return on ad spend in terms of cost per call and then the amount of total money I'm making from those customers and clients. And I'm doing that in my spreadsheets or something. For AI and automation, I don't have any CRM automation, no chatbots, no auto reports. I don't have anything really for this. For email, I don't have anything, let's say. Nothing. For analytics, I do have G4A set up, or like Google Analytics. That's it. Again, all these pieces are really valuable. So like if I were to do this, if I want to double my revenue, it's really important to first start tracking data, right? And this is a pitfall that a lot of smaller businesses end up getting. Actually, frankly, businesses across the map, right? Just like, are we tracking the appropriate data to make informed decisions? Oftentimes the answer is no. And then branding, I do have a personal brand. I do have case studies, right? And I don't have these other pieces. So you can see here, there's definitely some priorities that this is recommending, right? In this case, we haven't built out the email, we haven't built out AI and automation and SEO. What I would say is, so we are getting a 29%. We are failing right now. But look at this in the context of a business like A plus is making 25 million, let's say top line, right? And right now we're making an eighth of $1 million, right? We're making 125K a year. So we need to ask ourselves, how do we get to that first million? How do we get to that first 250,000? So it's really important. Remember when we went to strategy, we have our KPIs defined. We just want to get to a position where we're making double the amount of money we are right now. And in order to do that, we are doing with paid ads, we have our landing pages set up, we have our Google Ads set up, we have our keywords set up, and we're putting ourselves one foot in front of the other to make that a reality. Because really all we need is our phone to take these calls, get someone in the door, and make sure we're paying rent and we're doing a great job. We're posting some of these before and afters, and where there's a will, there's a way. We can put ourselves in a position to make double the amount of money this year. So feel free to use this today. It's right in the description, and you can see maybe you have some blind spots around some of the pieces you do feel like you have completed, in which case this can be super helpful. And if you are doing $25,000 or more on a monthly basis in terms of the total amount of money that you're making per month, I'd be happy to give you automations and do custom coding for you totally for free. So I'm offering between $3,000 and $5,000 just totally on me to help you build out some automations inside of your company. So feel free, you can look in the description below and learn a little bit more about that. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.